Welcome to today's lecture on TED Talks and Ink Talks. At the very outset, I would like to state the difference between TED Talks and Ink Talks. TED Talks is at a global level, whereas Ink Talks is at an Indian level or a national level. This slide offers an overview of TED Talks. Now, it was founded in the year 1984 with a motive of inspiring people. And even after 45 years, it still continues to inspire and motivate a lot of people. Now, what is the format of conducting TED Talks? Usually, conferences are organized where you have renowned politicians, artists, businessmen, scientists, etc. address a gathering. And they share their stories, they share their successes, they share their failures, they share the path that they crossed to reach where they are. And by doing so, they motivate the younger generation. So how do they do this? They do this by sharing their own biographies. They share a lot of stories. And by doing all this, they put across very complex ideas in a very simple language. Now, what are the advantages of TED Talks? First of all, it inspires innovation. Now, an engineering student might think, what am I supposed to do by listening to TED Talks or Ring Talks for that matter? But even engineering students can gain a lot by listening to these talks because it kindles your creativity. Okay, when innovators are invited as TED speakers, what they do is they give you a lot of insights about the latest trends in the field of engineering, what the emerging technologies or the cutting edge technologies that are available today in the market, etc. And by listening to them, what happens is that your critical thinking sharpens and your thought process diversifies. This slide talks about an overview of Ink Talks. Now, the first one is that it is an Indian counterpart of TED Talks, as I mentioned in the first slide. Okay, so it is more Indianized, it is more local, and therefore Indians will be able to relate to Ink Talks even better than TED Talks. So what happens is it focuses on innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship in India. Then what happens is it talks about Indian perspectives, Indian challenges. So it is more localized, and therefore what happens is you relate to it better. Let us look at the advantages of Ink Talks. So first and foremost, it offers insights into local industries and contexts that are relevant to Indian engineers. Second, it encourages creative solutions and entrepreneurial thinking, and it also helps you innovate with or connect with innovators and entrepreneurs in the Indian landscape. So what happens is it provides you with a lot of contacts and networking opportunities because the person who is talking to you, who is motivating you, since he is an Indian, he will talk from an Indian perspective. He will be more familiar with the problems that Indians face and that they have to overcome as Indians, and therefore it will be more relatable to you. Also, you can get in touch with them in the future for a better career. This slide talks about notable TED Talks available for engineers. So, to name a few, How Engineers Have Shaped Our World by Mary Wells, The Future We Are Building and Boring by Elon Musk, Engineers Beyond Engineering by Philippa Rival. A few of them is what has been stated here, but there are a lot more available. So when you go through them, you will discover a lot of ideas. Likewise, here on the slide, you have a notable Ink Talk for Engineers by Varun Agarwal. The title is From Failing in Engineering to Co-Founding a $1 Million Company. So I highly recommend you to search for these titles and listen to these TED Talks. Thank you for your patient listening.